All right. We are back for episode 3, I believe. What do I want to say? I want to say I said in one of these earlier episodes, but I don't remember if I said exactly those words that I wanted them to do a darker episode.
Be careful what you wish for.
We got it.
This week's episode asks the question, what if the world lost its mightiest heroes? Now, apparently this one was based on a Marvel tie-in comic from 2012 called Fury's Big Week. So this episode is basically what if everything that occurred in that comic went south, starting with Tony Stark dying during that scene in Iron Man 2, Thor biting the dust by Clint's arrow, and let's see, the Hulk gets exploded.
Has major heartburn.
And what are some of the others?
Clint gets, I don't know if they ever actually explained what happened to Clint. He went inside him and something happened, and then Natasha got beat down, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah. So things got dark, and there are two major twists that better put up that spoiler warning.
Yeah, hold on. Crap. You don't watch, you haven't seen the... I forgot to edit this right away. There you go.
So there are two major twists that make this a very, very dark episode. Mm-hmm. One is that part of what makes the episode really great is seeing Nick Fury teaming up with Loki, a very pissed off Loki.
Mm-hmm.
And the other twist is the reveal of the killer.
Yellow Jacket.
Not just any Yellow Jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Hank.
Now, I didn't look at the
voice cast.
The voice cast, because there was a hodgepodge of some there and some weren't.
Allow me.
Okay.
So, in this cast, we have... Hold on, let me bring it back up again. We have Lake Bell as Natasha Romanoff. We have Mick Weingart playing Tony Stark. Stephanie Panicello as Betty Ross. Mike Gill as Thunderbolt Ross. Alexandra Daniels as Carol Danvers, when Captain Marvel kind of shows up at the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a couple, there are a couple like additional voices, but some of the people reprising their roles are obviously Samuel L. Jackson, Michael Douglas, Clark Gregg, Frank Grillo, who I'm surprised he made a return for this.
I am too.
Jeremy Renner, Mark Ruffalo, and Tom Hiddleston as Loki, and Jamie Alexander comes back as Sif.
Yeah.
I'm happy that even though she only got one line, that she was able to come back.
She's getting all the Sif she can get. You got her back for Loki, so...
And she will be in Love and Thunder.
Yeah. So I'm happy.
We haven't seen the last of her.
Yeah. Happy we're getting more of her, because I always did like her, and I was not a fan of the amnesia storyline that was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where she kind of like didn't know who she was, or whatever that nonsense was.
Ugh.
I didn't watch it. I heard about it.
Yeah,
it sounded dumb.
I heard about that too.
But Anyway, yeah, you got to see like the murder mystery happening behind all of this. And like I partially got spoiled on this and partially didn't because it's like I saw Hank Pym as Yellow Jacket show up in my newsfeed along with something else for the next one. So like and again, like it just slipped my mind because I've got other stuff going on right now, and I just forgot about it, I guess. And yeah, that makes sense. And that works. It just makes you think of like I did like they gave the basically the everybody's version of how Thanos should have died, but they did it the smart way or the not immature way, I should say.
Yeah.
So those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, the whole go up Thanos's butt and then expand and then kill him. Because the mouth or the ears or the eyes aren't viable entrances either. But yeah. And the fact that the whole world just found world peace through Loki.
I know. I think that's probably one of the most unrealistic parts of the episode, that because of one man who, to be fair, Loki is a pretty charming individual.
He is.
But I mean, like, the world came together through his leadership. I mean, I know he's the god of mischief, so he did his thing, but still.
Yeah. Yeah, it's different. I mean, like the visuals that they did because they had Loki in this episode were great. That scene with Pym in the cemetery was great.
You know what that kind of reminded me of? It reminded me a little bit of Far From Home with
Mysterio stuff.
Yeah, Mysterio just completely fucking with Peter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was a fan of that because at first I was like, "Are we doing the whole Fury like?" Because I believe part of why Fury just never looked. In comics, Black Widow never looks older because she has some version of the super soldier serum, if I'm not mistaken. And I believe the same thing happens with Fury, where they have some kind of thing where he just never ages or like he just stays looking exactly the same because of something. I can't remember exactly what. But I didn't know if they were going to do some stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, when he teleported, I was like, no, that's Loki. Like,
yeah, that was like the biggest tell. Like, oh, okay, that's what's going on.
Exactly.
By the way, circling back to Yellow Jacket, I love the way they animated the like bitter, pissed off Michael Douglas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got to do, it's weird that he's almost gotten to do the most as Hank Pym in this episode. In the like 3 to 4 minutes he was on screen. Let's give or take. Outside of like he gets to do a lot in Ant-Man and the Wasp, obviously, but like the first movie, it was very much just him. Darian Cross, you're a dick. Like, the whole time. And then Hope doesn't like me. That's pretty much all it was. And then he got over that, but he got to see. That's a little bit like these what if things. You get to see possibilities, and it's just like this is another one of those where I wouldn't mind seeing another one where you would get to see the if it was Marvel, if it was a normal Cap, or if that was Peggy
Carter
in Captain Marvel, and then it's just like you get to see them fixing Loki, and it's yeah.
The possibilities are endless.
Mm-hmm. They are, which that's why they do these. They don't need to think out the rest of it. They just need to come up with this part. Which I honestly think the more and more I watch these, that after they did the first one, they went, okay, we need to try a little harder on some of the animations because literally, other than the first one, everything has looked unbelievably fluid, almost flawless in animation.
Mm-hmm.
I only had some issues in that first episode, but then after that, everything's been spectacular.
The first episode was as good, but as rough as most TV pilots. Like the proof of concept is there. It's just it only went far enough to demonstrate the premise.
Yes. Yeah, I would agree.
And then we obviously talked for about an hour last time about episode 2 and how much that just rules.
Because it's awesome. Because it's freaking amazing. Still the best thing they've done. This one was good, but it's not as good as that one.
This episode, it almost feels like it was written with, everyone's kind of common criticisms of the MCU in mind. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, there's too many jokes, or no stakes because comic books. And this is like, oh yeah, I'll show you stakes. Mm-hmm. Cracks the knuckles. Let's go.
Exactly. Kicked all that crap to the curb. No joking, no fussing around. It's just go time the entire way through.
And it's not like there was no levity. Lake Bell, for most people, has become more well known for playing the snarky, the snarky bisexual Poison Ivy.
True.
So, naturally, she brought a little bit of that energy, or that energy would just kind of leaked out of her performance as Black Widow. Also, I love Clark's or Coulson's password.
Oh yeah, I heard Steve's too, or like their fascination with saying how good Thor looked. He smells like lavender, even though he's dead. They do have really good humor in all these, so I will give them that. No matter what, they have a different type of humor in these than they normally do in the MCU. Like, it is a different brand of humor in these what ifs.
I can't explain why, but there's just something about humor in animation, even in shows that aren't intended to be straight comedies, like Young Justice, or a lot of the action shows from the 90s and 2000s. Well, they just have this really sharp sense of humor.
Mm-hmm. I would agree. Yeah, it hits differently, but it still hits good. If that's a weird way to say it, but yeah. And they've gotten more into packing a lot more into these episodes. Like, again, the first one felt like not a lot happened, and the second one it felt like a lot happened, and then this one, like, everything happened.
Episodes 2 and 3 are they are two kind of polar opposites in terms of how the universe changes. Like in episode 2, the point is stressed and to some extent kind of beaten over the head. How T'Challa is T'Challa is to to outer space as as the greatest medicine of all time to a wounded soldier. He just comes in like a hurricane and everything is better because of him. Mm-hmm. Whereas in this episode, everything is worse because Hank, who even in like MCU Prime was already not a fan of Shield. But this is like, but what if things took what if things hit closer to home?
What if Hank hated the Avengers even more? Yeah. And the worst part is like he lived a normal life with his wife being gone, still believing she was out there, but fully accepting the fact that she was gone, and he didn't go nuts.
But take away his daughter, and
yeah,
that's the button.
Yeah, they had to get the other part of his family gone, and then he finally went over. It's funny, you can make a guy seem like an asshole without making him beat his wife. For those of you that don't know, go look up some dumb old Marvel comics. Stupid. Just stupid. But yeah, it's they're really good at, and you said earlier about conveying emotions through animation. You could really see the look on Hank's face that how tormented he was. And they had to consistently make sure that his mask was off so that you could see how tormented he was.
Mm-hmm.
I always love that. He needs to show emotion. Take the damn helmet off, even though it makes no sense. Oh, yeah. But, excuse me. Man, my throat's killing me today. Yeah, this is good. They're kind of already hit their stride in how to do these in like the second one. And now the third is still good. And what I've heard, the fourth is really freaking good. So
yeah, I'm very much looking forward to the fourth episode. I'll reveal the title once we get there. But for now, really quick before we sign out of here, would I imagine you and I are on the same page of how we rank these. It would go, for me at least, it's 2, then 3, then 1.
Yeah. Yep, I'd say the same.
I think the reason why I prefer 2 over 3 is because it's more optimistic.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's weird, but if this didn't take place in the MCU, or if the MCU kind of did like their version of DC's Identity Crisis, this would be really good.
Mm-hmm.
As like a more fully fleshed out feature. But as it is, it only doesn't live up to just one of the best things that Marvel's ever done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, oh damn it, it's not as good as near perfection. Oh no. Yeah, no, it's that they haven't done a bad one of these, so and with they can't really break any rules or like disappoint, in my opinion, disappoint you, or they've kind of made a formula to not disappoint, because it's like you can't say that this isn't what it wasn't supposed to be, because they're saying what it's supposed to be. If you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I'm kind of following.
Yeah, but it's like you could say it's not what you wanted, but it's a what if. So it's not what you wanted, it's what they wanted it to be. Like you could say they didn't like it, it's just that it's like that's not how it should have been. I'm like,
that's the whole point.
That's the whole point. Exactly. It's like, I wish you would have took down Loki at the end. Oh well, that wasn't what they were going for. So yeah, it's weird that these are only half an hour long, and it's like I don't got a whole lot else to go over. We basically covered it.
Yeah, this one was a little bit more straightforward, even though it was like a huge departure from the actual events. It's a more straightforward tumble.
Yeah. But all right, yeah, I think we're gonna get on out of here and get on to the next one. So I think we pretty much got this one covered. So, Mike, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Captain K42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterbox.com/Coach K42. You can find me in all the various Facebook groups just at my name. You can check out Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Twitter at Ren Pop Culture. Look for us on Podchaser. Listen to all of our podcasts on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. Need to escape? So do we.
Yes, yes. And you can find me everywhere at Organoid Zero, mostly on Twitch. I am in the current process of changing over all of my Twitch stuff to get it switched over from some new stuff that I got from Augusto Draws, who did a wonderful job on overlays and things of that nature for me. So in the near future, you'll see my new stuff. I still need to figure it out because balls, it's more complicated than I thought to set it up. So it's going to take a little bit. But yeah, we will see you guys next time.
Peace.
Bye.